So this is my son, and he's a third grader at the Brooks Elementary School in Medford. And we're making a video to respond to Medford students for Black Lives Matter. I'm going to read the questions, and he'll give some answers. So, how do you feel when you know that people are being treated differently based on their appearance?
Sad, mad.
So if people have different skin color, how should they be treated?
Equally.
Yeah, they should be treated equally, right? So what do you do when you feel that you or others aren't being treated equally? If you saw someone treating someone else unequally because of their skin color, what would you do?
Talk.
Yeah.
Say stop.
Say to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there anything you think the city of Medford should do to make sure that everyone has the same opportunities?
Give the city of Medford an email. Yeah.
To report that?
And tell it to the police.
And tell it to the police. And is there anything that the police should do in terms of how people are treated?
They should be more gentle and kind.
So what is it like for you to have hard conversations with your friends when you feel different about a topic? Do you ever disagree with your friends about something?
Sometimes.
And how do you guys handle that?
We usually talk it through and then make up a compromise.
Compromise. Yeah. Well, good luck with your survey. Thanks for listening.
I feel sad and angry.
I would say that I'm really disappointed in the world.
I am really disgusted and sad.
I am not only scared, I am angry, and I am sad.
I feel pretty scared and angry.
Very confused and upset.
I feel more angry than anything.
It's frustrating, it's angering, it's really sad.
I feel relief a little bit, like, because they brought forth the topics of racial inequality and injustice, but also angry that it even has to be this way, that it wasn't even acknowledged before. They should have been acknowledged.
Coming from a place that does not experience this, it's absurd to me that a place like this, a place so grand, a place so rich, a place so flourished, is treating the people who help build the foundation of this place.
People have to be hurt every day just because of the color of their skin, which is black, which is the color of my skin, my family and friends' skin.
How am I supposed to explain to a 1-year-old, 5-year-old, 10-year-old, oh, you can't do this because of your skin color, you're gonna get killed?
This type of thing has affected so many people for so long, and yet somehow our society has just managed to ignore it.
A dog on the street who looks wounded will get more care, more donations, and more effort. I have been to 2 protests so far. I've even spoken at one of my protests in Hormel Stadium.
I've protested with my family. I've signed petitions, which really does get your voice heard.
I am part of CCSR, and I am working with the current projects that are helping with the fight against racism.
One step that I plan to take is to participate and create more projects like this so that we can get the conversation of racism and colorism and the effects that it has on today's society started in the Medford community. It's about time.
My family and I have donated money to different organizations.
I've shared posts on my social medias about racism and police brutality.
I try to educate as much as possible through social media.
If I hear something that sounds not right, rather than just letting it go, I've started saying something.
I've just made sure that we're talking about what's happening, because if you don't talk about it, you're complicit in the system, and that doesn't help anyone.
I want to see more black teachers, first of all. I want to be able to be in a classroom and feel like the person that is teaching me understands me on a different level.
Having a more diverse collection of teachers.
More representation in schools and restaurants. I want to walk into an environment and feel safe. I don't want to feel like left out or like singled out.
Black-owned businesses are having a lot of trouble right now, so I think that we should probably start supporting them.
I would definitely like to learn a little bit of black history.
I want to learn more about black history.
I would like to see black history and indigenous people's history taught in schools because we are the people who built this country off of our free labor. As we start to learn more about black history, you will start to notice that the creations we use in everyday life were invented by black people.
I don't want to hear about slavery. I want to learn about how black people not only built America, but how they influenced the culture, like the hip-hop culture, influenced everything. I want to hear more about how we were the blueprint for everything.
I have learned so much of this whitewashed history, and I had to go on Google to find out what Black Wall Street was and the bombing of Tulsa. Like, that's something I should have learned about.
Also, it's important to learn about black history because it was proven that if you know more about somebody, you start to understand them better, and you're able to show empathy towards them.
We just need to acknowledge that this is a thing that we talk about in our Medford community, and that we acknowledge that it's here and that it affects people.
Actually doing something. You can speak out as many times as you want, but if the people who have the power to change things aren't going to do anything, then things are going to stay the same. And so I think that's the problem with Medford.
I definitely feel prepared to talk about this because I want to bring change. And
I feel prepared, but not prepared enough because there is so much. Like, every day there is a new problem, a new case, something that from years ago that would be hidden under so much lies and hate, and it's just not coming out in 2020.
Unfortunately, in my 13 years of life, I've been a victim to racism many times, so I'd have to have that conversation about racial inequality many times. So I think I'm very equipped to have that courageous conversation with anybody in my community.
I am prepared. I am most definitely prepared. I've been prepared for like a while. I'm just waiting for people to catch up.
Though I feel prepared to have the conversations about race that are needed to create change, I don't think that Medford as a whole is. I don't think that the people who are in positions of power to create change are.
If everyone comes together as a community, we can get our voice out there. We can say what we want to say, and our voice would be acknowledged.
News is #1 place I get some of my information from. Although it does not cover everything and tell the full truth, popular influencers that they get down and gritty with the facts and details.
Generally, social media.
I've sort of been following like social media, and I know a lot of the grassroots movements are sort of on social media, and that's where you get like individual people saying what they know and sort of offering up their resources.
Social media, that's the only place you can get it, really.
I discuss a lot with my family members and like what they have experienced.
My main resource is my family. Fortunately, I have parents that made sure I knew about my culture, my history, and racial justice. If you don't have anybody in your life that can teach you about racial justice or police brutality, there are many resources online or on social media, just like this one called centerracialjustice.org.